In this video, I'm going to show you how I will study for the systems of equations internal. The first thing is to do past papers and to practice your simultaneous equations, because that's another word for systems of equations. There is a good site called mathaids.com where it can generate worksheets. So as you can see, we have some problems here. I'm going to teach you how to create your own. So you have different formats. You just need to select which ones you want, like so, and then whether if you want to use the substitution method or the elimination method or a combination of both, and obviously the language, which is English, and then you click create it. It should give you different problems each time, but sometimes it may give you some that are very similar or same. But here are some problems, and then you can just do them in your exercise book or somewhere else. So one of the papers is cleaning windows, and then the other one is, I think it's theory. I think most of us have got that one. I'm going to split this into 2-part videos. One is task part A, and then the other one is task part B. So let's read the introduction. I'm going to highlight the word context. I'm not sure if your teachers have told you, but if you don't write your things in context, you won't pass and you won't get your merit or excellences. So that's something that you need to do. Now, background information. So we have 2 buildings. One is a semi-circular cross section, and then the other one is a parabolic roof, which is a quadratic. We don't need to know the vertical walls. Most of the time, vertical walls are extra information, and most of the time they will give you extra information. As you can see, we have a formula for a circle and a parabola or a quadratic. A circle formula is probably the hardest because we haven't really seen it, but it's x squared plus y squared and equals to something. We don't need to know y greater or equal to 0. I don't think that's important. So once you have identified which formula is which this one goes to this, and that obviously goes to that. Write these 2 formulas down in your exercise books, paper, or wherever you are doing the work. So I'm doing it in notes, and I have the 2 equations written on there. Now let's proceed to task. Part A, cleaning the inside skylights. Just have a read through it. So immediately we see another equation, and that's the same for both buildings. For the ladder, so the question is, or what we're trying to find out is how much higher building 2 the ladder is at building 2 compared to building 1. So that's the height, which is also the intersection, and that is the same. Therefore, when something intersects, both equations are equal to each other. So we will do the circle formula equals to this formula, and then the parabola formula also equals to this formula, as it says the same for both buildings. Therefore, we can proceed from there. So go back to notes, write down the other equation, y equals 3x minus 11. I think it's minus 11. Let me double check. Yes. Now we want to make the circle and the parabola and that formula there. So x squared plus y squared equals 49. Y equals 3x minus 11. Now they will be equal to each other. And to do this, you have two equations. So now you can do simultaneous equations. So we're going to substitute y to here into the y squared. You can also substitute y equals 49 minus x squared, the square root of that. But substituting 3x minus 11 is easier, and you don't have to rearrange it. So substituting this formula is a better option. So let's do that. Hang on. Forgot to substitute. Now put it like this. Then solve. That's positive because minus 11 times minus 11 and any minus numbers times together gives you positive. And you should get 10x squared by combining like terms, minus 66x combining like terms, and move the 49 over. You should get plus 72 equals 0. Now you use either the discriminant equation, or if you realize we're not doing an algebra test, we can use a calculator. So we're going to go G, C. And to do that, you want to go to equations, and then polynomial, and then degree, and 2. I'll show you that. The equations here, and then you should get something like this, and then go to polynomial, F2, and then degree 2, and now plot in your quadratic formula, which the a value is 10. That's the number in front of the x squared, minus 66 because that's the number in front of x, and plus 72, which is just 72, as that is the y-intercept. Now you go solve F1, and then you have your two x values. Once you got the two x values, let me just double check what they were. X equals 5.221, or x equals 1.379. It is best to round your answers to 3 dp. I don't know why, because the standard is 2 dp, but just round to 3 dp. Sometimes you don't need to know why, just do it. Okay, now we need to get y value. So we're going to substitute both x values to one of these equations, which this equation will be the easiest. So let's substitute that. Y equals 3, x minus 11 equals 3 brackets 5.221 minus 11, which equals, do it on your calculator, you should get 4.663. And the other one, calculator, you should get minus 6.863. So immediately, a length cannot be negative, so we can say goodbye to that. And the 1.379, which give us the 2, or the coordinate for this one is 5.221, 4.663. So that should be the correct coordinate. The 5.221 and the 4.663 is the point here. Now we need to find the point here, this one here. So we need to make the straight line equals the quadratic. Okay, the next one. Okay. Quadratic formula. X squared plus 20y minus 140 equals 0. And y equals 3x minus 11. Now just substitute y into there. X squared plus 20 bracket 3x minus 11 minus 140 equals 0. X squared plus 60x minus 100. Hang on, that's not right. 220 minus 140 equals 0. And you should get x squared plus 60x minus 360 equals 0. Now you can put that into your graphical calculator using the same way, but your a value equals to 1, as something in front of x is 1, and your b is going to be 60, and your c will be a negative 360. And then you should get, if I do it right now, you should get x equals 5.496 or x equals minus 65.490. 3 decimal place. Once you have that, you would put that into, substitute x and get y. So this into there. Y equals 3x minus 1. Even if 1x value doesn't suit the criteria, you still need to work it out to get middle x's, and then state why that doesn't fit the criteria. So over here you write that a length cannot be negative, so therefore it won't be negative 6 point whatever that number is that I forgot. So y equals 3x minus 1 and 3 bracket 5.496 minus 1, and that would, on the calculator, $15.488, and do the same here. No, this is 11. I think I did that one wrong. Sorry. You should get 5.488, and you should get, no, that's 11. minus 207.47. Now, immediately you can get rid of negative 65.490 as the length cannot be negative, which therefore these two are going to cross out. So it will be 5.488 and 5.496. That would be your answer. So that'll be the coordinate for this point here. Now you have to using the y value, because that's the height, minus the y value in building 2 minus the y value in building 1. So that would be, this is building 2, 5.488 minus y value in the circle, 4.663, which equals 0.825, and then you'll say that the skylight in building 2 is higher by 0.825 meters than building 1. And that's all you need to do for that task, part A.